Some people believe that we have free will, and some people believe that we don't, that it's just an illusion. I looked at many different definitions for free will, and none of them made any sense. I can't say that there is free will or there isn't if I can't even define what free will means. So, first, let's see if we can define what free will is, and then see if it is something that we have or not. When talking about free will, we're talking about the freedom to make choice. The definitions of free will that I found basically said that free will is the ability to make a choice not determined by natural or outside causes. So, not determined by something outside of us. Now, if something is an effect of a natural flow of events, the next step in a causal chain, then there's no choice actually being made. So, no free will. Now, there are different variations of this, but they all are about a natural next step. So, what is an alternative to a determined chain of events? A random event. So, if something happens and the next step is completely random, again, here there's no choice, so no free will. It doesn't matter if we mix the two together, so we have determined and random. If any part of the chain of events is random, there's no choice, no free will. What if we remove causality? That's just another name for randomness. No free will. How about if we get rid of time? Then all we have is this, with no past to cause the present. But here, there's no choice being made either. There's just choicing happening. There is no chooser. There's no free will. Let's go into and break down what happens when we make a choice. So when there's a choice to be made, and for this, let's say it's a choice that I have to think over. So I go into my past or data and find the relevant information. I then combine that with the outside world or environment, and with both the inner and outer world, I make a choice. So for this example, let's say that I'm thinking about what to make for dinner tonight. So A is pizza and B is chicken soup. So I go into my past and see that recently I've had a lot of pizza. And so I might also see that in my personality, I think that I'm a healthy person. So eating too much pizza does not match the image of myself. I then take the information and match it to the environmental information. And I see that I don't have the ingredients for pizza, but I do have the ingredients for chicken soup. So with all of the information, I choose to make chicken soup tonight. This seems like the story that we believe regarding making choices. But is that what actually happens? There is the I, that is the chooser. So what is the I? What is generally believed is that the I is made up of my history, my personality, preferences. But that is exactly the same as the past data that I use to make a choice. So the I, which is my history, personality, and preferences, looks at my past data, my history, personality, and preferences to make a choice. Now, how do I choose the relevant data to use in my decision? I can't use all of my past. What I did in high school is not relevant in choosing what to make for dinner tonight. I don't need to look at my preferences for music. Those are also irrelevant. But just saying that something is irrelevant means that I'm choosing between what is considered relevant and irrelevant. So how am I making that choice? That choice would also have to be based on my history, personality, and preferences. Now, you can look at this as I'm going in a circle or as infinite regress. But at no point can I actually get to the chooser. And also, this isn't my actual experience. I'm not making choices about choices about choices. Now, if I had to do this, I couldn't do anything. So, not only is this not our experience of choosing, the chooser isn't even possible. So, what is our actual experience of making a choice? Well, first, there's some choice that is perceived. Now, since I don't have an answer right away, that means I don't have any thought that arises that says what I should choose. Now, there are thoughts that arise that say some evidence for A, and there are some thoughts that say some evidence for B. This might go on for a while. Now, while this is going on, I may have some discomfort in my body, especially this is an important choice to make. I might feel stress, which is often felt as a tightness in the chest or gut area. Now, at some point, a thought will arise that will announce that the choice is A. Now, where is the I choosing in all this? So this brings us to the idea of choice. I remember listening to a talk given by J. Krishnamurti a few years ago, and he was asking the audience why choice is important to them. He said, "Why do you seek choice?" Now, it took me a while to really understand what he was talking about. Now, to explain this, let's look at what happens when there is a clear choice. So I'll give you two choices for a drink. So A is a cup of tea, and B is a cup of poison. Which do you choose? Are you really choosing? Are you saying, I don't know. I don't really like tea, but the poison will kill me. So I guess I'll choose A. No. When the choice is obvious, there is no making a choice. There is just choice. Again here, there is no I making a choice. So this leads me to a big question. Does God make a choice? Would an all-knowing, all-powerful God make a choice? Well, if God is all-knowing, God has all the possible information, and everything is clear. At no point does God go, well, I don't know, maybe I'll choose this. So God doesn't choose because all is known. So God doesn't even have free will. Okay, so now does any of this make sense? If an all-knowing, all-powerful God doesn't have free will, what exactly is going on? So what we see here is the answer to the question. Do we have free will? Now the answer is that the question is the wrong question. That question is looking for something that doesn't exist, can't exist, and most importantly, not what we even want in the first place. When there is a choice being made, there's confusion. Now think again how the body feels when a big decision has to be made. Is the feeling of making a choice pleasant? In the whole activity of making a choice, what feels good? It's when the choice is clear. What feels good is not choosing. What feels good is the end of choosing. When people are in the flow or in the zone, there is a feeling that everything is just happening. There are no choices being made. There's just the flow of reality, the universe. This is what we seek. This is the feeling that is pleasurable. This, as well as with many other things, is where people confuse getting something as positive and losing something as negative. But we can see that the opposite is often true, as it is here. It is not having a choice that is the good thing, but instead letting go of the confusion of making a choice. We do not have free will, but we don't want free will. What we want is the freedom of choiceless acceptance. That is what we feel when we feel the freedom of making a choice. So let me know what you think. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. Until next time.